Hi everyone, Colin Whitenack, Colin and Company, powered by Keller Williams. Thanks for tuning into another video. Today we are going to talk about new builds, okay? We're going to talk about some of the benefits of buying a new build, some of the additional risks, and maybe clear up a myth or two, okay? Now, we are talking about large production builders today. We're not talking about custom homes. That's a whole nother kit and caboodle. If you want to talk about that, let me know. I can start hooking up with architects, builders, all of those kinds of things, okay? So let's talk about the biggest benefit of buying a new home, and that's it's new, right? Nobody's used the appliances, walked on the carpet, things like that. You get a brand new house, all right? You get to kind of make it your own. You get to be the first person that lived there. You buy a resale home, like I live in a 1950s home. You know, dozens of people could have lived there. They've done upgrades over time. They've left other things over time. You know, adds a little bit of character, all right? But let's talk about price first, because that's what a lot of people like to talk about, okay? When you buy a resale house, there's a list price, and oftentimes that's negotiable. You might be able to negotiate them down a little bit. If it's competitive, it actually might go up. We've seen that a lot in Denver over the last few years, okay? But the list price at the builder is usually pretty firm. I've got them down a little bit, especially this past year. But for the most part, that's pretty firm. There are other things you need to consider. Oftentimes, there's costs on top of that base price. The first one is a lot premium. If it's on a better lot, if it's got a good view, backs to open space, larger lot, something like that, there can be a lot premium of $2,000. There can be a lot premium of $50,000. I've seen it that high before, all right? Now, that's all disclosed. That doesn't like sideswipe you before, after you go under contract or anything, okay? The next thing is design center. As part of the process of buying a new build, you get to go to a design center, and it's super fun. You get to pick out tile, carpet, different finishings, things like that. Now, you can pick out the builder grade stuff, where you usually get to pick from a few colors of these things, or you can do an upgrade, okay? And depending on how high end you go, that can get kind of expensive as well. Finally, basements. If you're buying a property that comes with a basement, oftentimes it doesn't come finished. And if you want to finish it, that can add tens of thousands of dollars, all right? There is one more cost that's really common in Colorado. Most builders don't landscape the backyard. They just leave it dirt. However, they require that you do landscape it within the first 6 months, okay? So that can be additional cost. If you sod it yourself, you can save a lot of money. If you just pay a landscaping company to sod it, it could cost you a few $1,000. However, some people go big. They go full landscaping. They can pay $10,000 even more if they want something really nice back there, all right? But let's get back to the condition of the property, okay? If you buy a resale property, of course you're going to do an inspection, right? A general inspection. You're going to make sure that maybe the seller fixed a couple things. You're going to verify that it's in the condition you want. Oftentimes buyers ask me, am I buying a new build? Do I really need to do an inspection? The county inspectors, the city inspectors, everybody's been in and out of there. Of course, I still recommend you get an inspection, okay? There's things that are missed. None of these inspections are great. It's great to get a third party that represents you to look over the place. One option I've seen many buyers do is usually when you buy a new build, you do get a 1-year workmanship warranty, okay? Meaning they're going to cover things like nail pops or anything like that that happens. Not damage that's created by the new owner. But, things can shift and settle in the first year, and they do offer to come and fix that. Some buyers do their inspection after about 10 months. That way, they're right up against that deadline, and they get all those things fixed right before that warranty expires, okay? Now let's talk about warranties. When you buy a resale, you can buy a homeowner's warranty, and that usually covers some of the systems, for a year or something like that. They usually cost $400 to $500, okay? When you buy a new build, you do get that 1-year workmanship warranty that I just talked about. There's also a warranty on all the appliances because they're brand new. Those are typically through the manufacturer. Oftentimes, and this isn't always, but oftentimes, the builder also covers the systems in the house, HVAC, all plumbing, all that stuff, everything behind the walls for a couple years. And then there's usually either a 6 or a 10-year structural warranty to warranty the foundation, things like that, okay? All right, so we've talked about all that. We've talked about price. We've talked about condition inspections. Let's talk about taxes, okay? When you buy new build, usually the taxes are higher. And that's because they've had to bring a lot of systems into it. They've gotten the plumbing from the outside, the sewer. They've gotten electrical, all to a new building. They've built new roads. And usually there's mill levies that come along with that. And that gets put in your property taxes. So make sure you get an estimate on that. Most times they can't give you an exact amount, and this can be really frustrating to buyers because, you know, sometimes there's a little sticker shock later, okay? The next thing to talk about is the contract, all right? When you buy a resale, the Colorado contract to buy and sell really protects the seller and the buyer, but I feel like it protects the buyer a lot more, okay? The buyer's got a lot of dates and deadlines that they can get out of the contract in and get their earnest money back, okay? Their earnest money is that little down payment you put in, usually about 1%, okay? When you buy a new build, you're going to use a builder contract, okay? These builder contracts, every one I've seen, has been built to protect one person or one entity alone, and that is the builder, okay? There's all kinds of, and if you read the whole thing, it can actually be quite scary. They're saying if you back out, you just surrender your earnest money. They can extend, they might have to extend with no penalty to them. All right, that's the way it's written. That said, most builders know that they're having a lot of buyers come on and they're looking them up on the internet and they're looking at reviews. So they really want happy buyers, okay? Also, you know, you have that warranty period, so they want a continued good relationship. However, the contract can be a little scary. Always recommend taking time, reading it over. If you feel like you need to hire a professional like an attorney to review it with you, by all means do so, okay? Let's talk about the closing. I just mentioned that because it's part of the contract, okay? If there's a chance that you can go into a new development and find one that's ready to go, okay? You're not going to be able to pick out the finishes, but it's going to be ready to go, and you can probably close in a month or two, similar to a normal deal. Like a normal contract, if for a resale is 30 to 60 days, okay? You might be able to find that. However, if you want to pick out everything, if you want to do the design center, build from a ground up, it's going to be at least 6 months, probably closer to 8 to 12 months to get those done by most large production builders, okay? So you need to make sure that you've got housing in place. Maybe it's the house you currently own. Maybe you're renting or continue a lease. I've had people move in with family for a little bit, but that longer close time can affect people. And it doesn't happen often, but every once in a while something comes out of left field and it can get delayed. I've seen for as long as up to 6 months. Usually delays aren't more than a few days, up to 2 weeks, but I have seen delays happen for up to 6 months, okay? All right, lending, all right? We're not going to spend much time on this. People ask, is the lending the same? By and large, lending is the same. You can use your same lender you've always used, or if you have somebody you like. That said, there usually are incentives to use the builder's preferred lender. They usually give some money for closing costs. Maybe they give a credit for a design center. There's different incentives that they give, so it's worth considering and maybe doing a comparison, okay? All right, that's all I have for new builds. Thanks for watching. As always, if you have any questions about new builds or resales or your property, call me. I'm at 303-912-5394. I always try to answer my phone or call you back quickly. And if you want to be a reading partner, help a child kindergarten through 4th grade catch up on their literacy, go to readingpartners.org, navigate over to Colorado, or again, you can call me about that and I can set you up with the volunteer coordinator. All right, enjoy your week and I hope to see you soon.